Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So CPI came out, CPI for Germany and for the US actually, and was positive, hence the rally, and then we sort of pulled back very quickly. Now, the size of this tail is what I'd be really worried about right now, and that's almost, it's 182 points or 1.2% move in the market. That rejection is off the top here. Now, the S&P is rejecting a trend line. This is not rejecting a trend line. This is just building this zone here, which seems to be a lot of interest in. When you look at this on the weekly, strong move up, sideways range, few bars at the moment. You should be anticipating a bigger move to the upside. But we've got data still coming out today. Excuse that noise. We have dogs that are demanding attention here. So you do have a bit of structure to the left. You can see this here. This is where all the buyers were coming in last year. And obviously we're rejecting that same, not exact at the moment, but we're rejecting that zone. And then there is a little bit of divergence here as well. There's a high to lower high. So nice edge, I think, is what you need to look at this at. So at the moment, 8 hours not going to give us anything more. But if you look at the rest of the data, have a look at that. Solid move up, big rejection, all the way down again. So that is big rejection. I mean, that's a massive amount of rejection off a level. And I'd be very wary of trying to pick a direction at the moment. So the first thing here is that we do have a crossover moving averages on the 3 hour. We are above the 155 EMA. So that is bullish. This is a big engulfing bar, or should we almost say inside bar. Well, it's actually one of either by the looks of things. Almost a piercing pattern as well, piercing bar. But this is just a sign of huge confusion. So CPI data was good, but then what we had is for some reason, sellers coming in higher up. They're probably anticipating that the Feds coming out today are not going to agree with what the CPI is telling us. So anyway, we need to wait for the Feds. I think that's the bottom line. For me, on the DAX, there is a little bit of structure here. There's not much on the S&P, but there's definitely something here worth paying attention to. I'm just going to do both of them. So the first area is if we get down to 14,379, could be an area of to buy there. But this area right here at 14,474 is also important. And this is one of those days where if you put a Fibonacci on yesterday's move, you'll see we've pulled back straight into the 61.8 of the move. Which could be seen as bullish as well. So 15 minutes, there's no real structure apart from anticipating a move down to here, which is what we were anticipating anyway, which is 14,327 for an opportunity to buy. But look at that, you've got no structure on the level, you've got structure below the level. It's actually picking up on the 15-minute levels here. So at the moment, there was a gap. That gap is closed. There's still a gap a little bit lower, which is here. And I don't see another gap lower down. So, yeah, 50-50 call, to be honest. I think we're probably going to be mucking around between 1400 and what's this one? This is, so that's 14,332. Sorry, this is not 1400, this is 14,600. So 14,600 and probably a bit lower down here, 14,300. So between 14,600 and 14,300, I think that's kind of where we're going to muck around. So it's quite simple what's going to happen today. If the Feds come out and they are dovish, in other words, that they are starting to see signs of tapering off interest rate hikes, then what you're going to see is a move back up here. If they come out as hawkish, in other words, keeping the interest rate hikes as high as they have been, then you're going to see a move down to the bottom here. That's kind of the view that I've got at the moment. So I'm kind of sit on hands. I don't think this is something I want to be getting involved in at the moment. If sort of before the US opens, just trading the DAX, I'd watch this. Oh, this is 14474. Get above it, come back, test it. Then you've got an opportunity. You've got a 50-point stop loss for a visit back up to here. So it's a 2-to-1 trade. So that's kind of what we need to pay attention to. Other than that, I don't think I want to be chasing shorts. There's no reason to be chasing shorts. Even though we do have this big engulfing bar, it doesn't necessarily mean I need to be chasing shorts. I need to drop below the low of yesterday before we start looking for shorts. And then the oscillators here are also grouped to the downside on the hour with diversions as well. You see there, price is low, this is a higher low, and they've crossed over. And then if you just, so it's going to jumping all over the place this morning, but just want to see where you're going to see it better. There we go. Kind of a messy flat top triangle. And it's a messy flat top triangle after a move down. So this is the area to pay attention to. Get above it, find support. You've got a long opportunity. You're looking for it up here at 14,600. And what I would also do is as soon as it gets going after the first pullback, I would have my my stop to entry. Okay, and then also just take it out. I'd actually take it out at the DAX close, at the end of the trading session, rather than wait for the USA, because tomorrow is going to be another day like that. Well, sorry, today is going to be another day like this. Big up, big down, depending on what happens. But anyway, that's kind of my view. Very cautious. Definitely not favoring the short side. I am favoring the long side, but we just need to wait for the data to come out. If you start breaking below these levels to the downside, then we'll start changing our tune. But at the moment, the trend is up, albeit a bit messy. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.